Welcome back to Happy Place Cooking. Today, I'm making soup. Yep, you see it right. I've got a couple of boneless chicken breasts. I've got a whole tray of bacon. These are both gonna be components in the soup that I'm making today. Stick around, you're gonna wanna see this recipe. I have got my oven preheating to 375. I'm gonna put these boneless chicken breasts in for probably 20-25 minutes, something along there. I am going to put this whole tray of bacon in. Also, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I'm putting them in at the same time. I think this might take a little bit longer because I want it to be crispy. And I'm hoping the chicken will come out tender and juicy. I'm going to start with that. And once these are done, or almost done, then I will get started on the rest of that soup. I have got some chicken base here, and I'm going to do up about probably 4 to maybe 6 cups of a chicken broth. That's what I'm going to cook my gnocchi in. I'm going to season it with some onion powder, rosemary. I've got some cinnamon basil, English thyme. I will be adding some cream cheese and some milk. I'm probably going to use evaporated milk. I would use heavy cream, but I don't have any. I'm going to start right now by getting this chicken broth whipped up and in my pot. And that makes 6 cups of broth. I'm going to go ahead and put in my English thyme, cinnamon basil. I am just doing this by taste. I am not measuring this out, but if you need measurements, I would say anywhere from 1/4 to maybe 1/2 teaspoon. But these are all pretty strong seasonings, so I wouldn't get too carried away with them unless you just really like a lot of thyme and rosemary and stuff. And I'm going to get this on the stove. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I will begin adding my evaporated milk, my cream cheese, and my gnocchi. I'm going to allow my bacon to sit here on these paper towels so they can soak up the grease a little bit before I do anything else with them, because those are pretty greasy. Just going to somewhat cut up my block of cream cheese. This is pretty soft. I've had it setting out for a little bit. But that's fine because I want it to melt easily in my soup. I don't want it to be big chunks of cream cheese. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside. Cut my chicken up. I am going to remove these large fatty pieces. I do not want those in my soup. I'm just going to make these in small-ish chunks. It's fairly tender, it's pretty juicy, but I'm probably going to let it go ahead and boil in the broth for a little bit before I start adding the rest of the ingredients, just to kind of, spread the flavor, I guess, so to speak. And it might let some of this kind of more like shred up rather than just be large chunks of chicken. I'm going to go ahead and chop up my bacon. This won't go in until the last because I don't want my bacon to get all willowy. I want it to stay somewhat crunchy, but this way it's ready to go, and all I'll have to do is dump it in when I am ready for it. Go ahead and put my gnocchi in, and when it is done cooking, gnocchi will float to the top. Once it is done, I'm still not done. I've got a few things to add to this, but I'm going to let that sit there and boil and cook the gnocchi. As you can see, my gnocchi is starting to float. I'm going to add in my 1 cup of evaporated milk. As I said earlier, you can use heavy cream if you wish, and I would have if I would have had some on hand. I'm going to let that go ahead and come back to a little bit of a boil, heavy simmer. Time for the cream cheese. Try to do this carefully so I don't make a big, huge splashing mess. Oop, like that. I'm going to stir this occasionally. I want to make sure that my cheese gets nice and melted. This should also thicken this up a little bit. I am just about ready to add my bacon here. I'm going to add my bacon, turn this off, remove it from the heat. I am choosing today to put my soup in bread bowls. That's how I'm going to serve this soup. But you can definitely serve it up just in a bowl. You could put a little bread on the side, maybe some crackers, however you wanted to do it. I'm going to get my bacon added. And then I'm going to get this all plated up and show you what it looks like. Thanks so much for watching. Happy eating.